For the base of this skull look, you're going to use white Snazaroo face paint and a large high density sponge, pressing the white face paint all across the face excluding the eye area, as this area is going to be black, so all round stick on the sponge until you get an even coverage. So now for the final details of the skull design, you're going to use black Snazaroo face paint and a small thin synthetic brush, starting off with the nose, carving out the shape on the nose and moving on to the cheekbones. On each side of the face, you're going to start to begin and mark off where the jawline and cheekbones sit. Again, this is representing the hollows of the design of a skull. So start to mark off with the brush and your black Snazaroo face paint, the line sitting just above the natural cheekbone of your model and creating the bone shape of the skull design. Now that we have this shape in place, we can start to mark off where our teeth are going to sit. So starting off with a line right across the middle of the lips and extending that out into that shape that we've created at the side. This is going to be our starting point to start to mark out where the teeth are going to be positioned, and taking your brush across the line, just do small lines up towards the nose. Once this is done, you're going to then repeat that on the bottom set, so creating those lines for the bottom set of teeth. Once we've done this, on the top of each line you're going to do a flick either side and start to mark off the rounded edges of the teeth, and then giving a bit of detail to the bottom line and shape to the bottoms of the teeth so they don't sit square. This will add added extra detail and definition to your teeth design. Then we're going to start to mark off the hollows of the eyes. So taking this shape right around the eye socket up to the brow bone, and then once we've got that shape in place, filling it in with black paint, moving on to a larger brush this time to make it more quicker and easy to fill in. Using the same brush, we're now going to start to fill in with the black Snazaroo face paint the shape we've created on our cheekbone. So making sure all areas that carved out shape is filled in with the paint on both sides. Now to begin and give more definition to this look, we're going to start to create shadows and shading around the areas of the mouth using a small natural hair bristle brush. I'm taking the paint already that is on the face and dragging that up to give a shadow around the teeth. Once that's done, we're going to then shade in that inner part where the mouth starts to join to the cheekbone, and we're going to shade it off to make it look like the teeth disappear into this shadow. Now for the final details, the last details on this design, using a small thin brush again with very little paint on your brush, you're going to start to create smaller shapes and shadows within the hollows of the cheekbones. So lightly pressing down with your brush and then going back in with that small bristle brush and blending that off. And then we're going to repeat this on other areas, so round the socket line of the eye, again small light pressure around the eye, then going in with that bristle brush again and shading it off. Repeating this again round the temples of the bone to make these bones stick out and give more definition to the side of the design, and then around the top of the head, making sure that you drag the product up to create shading in certain areas and define the top part of this design. And that's the final look of a face paint and skull design.